what was brought up.
You should ask him most of the questions. He's smarter.
I was going to say, at PaleyFest, you guys talked a bit about how New York is like another character in the show, and you talked a bit about some of your interactions with New Yorkers as you've been shooting. Can you tell us some more about that?
Well, one of my favorite stories, and I may have told this at the event, was Fusco and Reese having a private conversation in a public place. Mm-hmm. We were approximately 6 inches from each other. We had 2 cameras going, 65 crew members, and a little old lady walked right between the two of us, hit me with an elbow on the way by as if I was in her way, and just kept right on walking. So that was in season 1, and so that was like kind of one of the first times we were out in the streets of New York, and it was kind of like, okay, this is what we're up against.
A lot of times, cameras are hidden, so you can't see them. They'll be across the street, and I had my trench coat on, and some person came over and completely blocked the camera and said, I love your show while I'm on the grease. Or Finch, and I say, hey, turn around, you're on candid camera. Multiple times this happens all the time. Where'd you get that Star Wars Adidas? That was really sweet.
Thank you.
Where'd you get it?
What?
Yeah.
Where did I get it? Adidas. They made a collection, 6 collections.
This is this year or last year?
No, it ended last year. I have a Darth Vader outfit. I was with it 3 days ago here, with a cape and the breather, and then I bought a mask.
Are you a Star Wars fan?
I bought a lot of stuff. Do you like Star Wars?
I think, yeah. I remember when it came out. Was it 76 it came out?
Something like that, 77 maybe?
77?
Yeah.
So I think that, there's a lot of, I was mentioning to Greg Plegman, a writer, I said, a lot of people with Darth Vader, and I think maybe because he becomes good at the end. So maybe Reese is very similar to that character, very dark, and can hopefully end good.
Would you like to play the new movies of Star Wars? Maybe a character there.
That J.J. Abrams is directing, who we happen to work for.
I never bring that up because they're the ones that have to see it.
Well, it would be funny you playing after Jesus Christ playing Darth Vader, huh?
Would he be in this?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
The future, yeah.
Where do you think Fusco is at the beginning of this year? I mean, he's got kind of like the cloud of HR, which he kind of defied them a little.
Yeah, I mean, Fusco's he's swimming in a tank full of HR. I mean, he's the only one left at the precinct. Carter, as you know, has been sent out to become patrolman once again. She's been demoted. So, Fusco knows that Carter is out for revenge. She's seeking revenge for the loss of her boyfriend. I think the relationship, the dynamic has definitely changed. I think Fusco has a level of unpaid gratitude to Carter for her support in the end of season 2 when things got real dark for Fusco and we weren't really quite sure that he was going to make it through to the other side. I think that the thing that Fusco is looking to do is he's trying to be a friend and be a supportive to her, knowing that HR is now in business with the Russians, which kind of elevates the level of danger, and he just wants to be as supportive as he can and try to help her in this task, but also prevent her from getting them both harmed. So.
And for John, it's like there's a new team member, but the machine is kind of all over the place now. So him and Finch aren't sure what they're going to be doing, if the numbers are coming in and all that. So it's a little uncertainty for him too.
John's in the people saving business. He can. The number comes up is going to be doing some killing. He'll take care of that. victim or whoever the bully is. He's a bully king. So it's the machine can go wrong. There's common ground there too. So he shoots people in the knee and pops them in the arm and things like that because he can. But that doesn't mean he will keep doing it. So he can go off too. You can probably see that.
We were recording at the subway station. I heard about it this week. I guess it's Thursday. What were you doing there?
At the subway station?
Yeah.
I was there with
I have a
Carter.
friend who said, I'm working here in the
Carter.
See,
Carter and-
we're not always at the same. We're not, it just depends on what's being shot that day. So production may be there. We may be on a day off, or we may be on a splinter unit, or we may be doing inserts. So it's really. Did you work Thursday?
Well, we're working nights, so I don't remember.
Yeah, it was at
I
night.
worked all week. So.
Thursday I was at, Thursday I was at
42
the studio on Thursday.
Oh,
I was at the studio Thursday and Friday.
I'm doing tandem
So-
units, so I'm working on one episode and the other
Yeah.
right now.
So our production is a 9-day period, 9 work days per episode. But usually on the 9th day it's a tandem unit. So what we're doing is we're finishing the last day of, say, episode 1, and we're starting the first day of episode 2. So on that 9th day, there's always a double unit going, you know. So as I say, sometimes you'll shoot, 2 scenes in the first unit, and then you'll have like an hour break, and then you'll have to, recostume and go completely across town to the other unit and shoot 2 scenes there, So it just depends on what's happening. And, it's very challenging shooting in New York. It really is, but. It's so vibrant, and it really is. New York is really a character in the piece. I don't really know that Person of Interest has the same level of success anywhere other than New York, because New York is such a city that's so transient. You're constantly coming and going, and from all walks of life.
Different languages.
Yeah, different languages and
cultures.
different cultures, and So that's what's so important, and it gives the writing staff such a broad canvas to paint with.
Just in the span of walking, standing in the street, in a span of 5 minutes, 10 different languages come walking right past.
What's the most interesting place you ever recorded here in New York that you never been before?
Well, the old boat kind of receiving facility where everyone was supposed to go before the Titanic capsized. We shot at this. It's like kind of a receiving hall where a lot of the ships would come in, and everyone would kind of grab their bags and everything. There was like a terminal. It was like a boat terminal. Well, that was the boat terminal where all the people on the Titanic were supposed to go before the ship sunk.
Okay.
They were all, when they pulled into New York port, they were all supposed to go there to get their bags, and so that was kind of cool. It's since closed down, and it is primarily used for filming purposes right now. But little pieces of history like that, I think, are pretty cool places.
Now, as far as, most of the flashbacks are sort of about their plot related. But I'm curious how much you guys like the flashbacks, and how much you just want to know the backstory and convey those elements through your performance.
More terms, more letters in the alphabet. It's much with Jonah Nolan. There's way more dimensions. Go back to the momentum. Or he would sit there and his brother would look at back an earlier thing of it and saying, it feels like you're shooting in a studio, and it doesn't feel like I really believe this world. They have an element of bringing something alive with a cinematic quality to it, and lighting and all the textures that you see in movies. And so in order to get that, you have to, I guess now, you have to have multiple stories. Levels, dimensions, being able to go left, right, or it becomes so predictable. The backstories are fascinating. Just my relationship with Fusco, that reading the script, he talked about, and this is true, like a CIA guy operative would, to get people to turn your way. Are they into sex, drugs, power? What is their thing? Can you buy them? If you can buy them, you have to dispose them because you cannot trust them. And so this guy is buyable. And that is how people have asked, how you're, because I think there are things about him that he really likes. But that one thing that thing about him that has kept him alive is the fact that he is kind of has a glass is half empty approach with human beings.
Guys, we have time for one more question.
What's it been like your relationship with Finch? How that's really evolved? That must have been fun to play from the beginning to where you are now. It's quite an arc.
It's really interesting how it all came to be that day that I met Michael Emerson. Him and I met, I don't know if you know the opening sequence where we're walking down a dark alley and we're turning each other in a silhouette shot. We're literally walking down the street getting to know each other. It's all off. There's no script there. Just, he's a fascinating man. I never watched Lost. I was always working, shooting. So, when we finally get to meet each other, that was one of our first conversations we ever had, just walking down, getting to know each other. And, couldn't find two guys more left than right. But it works, and we work as people.
I think that's one of the things that makes the show so interesting is that if you line each of the cast members up shoulder to shoulder, there are no two cast members that are alike. And I think that's what makes it. Everyone kind of brings their own little dynamic to the thing. What I think Fusco does is I think Fusco gives it a sense of gravity. It grounds the entire piece to that character because just for the simple fact that you have this CIA operative, you have this billionaire, you don't really know how much money he has, you have this this cop who has his military background, but you're not really quite sure what our military background is, and these are all characters that could very easily take flight into a place of disbelief, and you see these characters and you see them unfold, and then you see this schlep of a cop and you go, I see that that kind of looks real. So the rest of it looks real, and it kind of brings the entire piece down and gives it and keeps it to a place of levelness.
I love his redemption. I thought that.
But yeah, I think it's great, and even that that one of my favorite scenes in the entire series this far is the pilot where Fusco and Reese first meet in the car, and Fusco's taking him out to Oyster Bay to kill him. And they were laughing, and they each, Fusco thinks he's going to kill him, and Reese is going, you have no idea what you got in store for you. And that whole conversation is just great. And you're talking about a bunch of characters that none of them really have. Everyone in this cast has trust issues. Every cast member has trust issues of some sort. So I guess they're all
together.
Yeah. It all just kind of mashes together, and it all works.
Will Fusco become the go-to babysitter for supermodels as the show keeps going?
I had a conversation with David Slack, and we were talking about something specific, and I reminded him that he owes Fusco a Two Supermodels episode. So we're working on that right now.
I heard that there were a lot of flashbacks.
On that note, I have to move them.
I want one for each hand.
Thank you.
Thank you.